From ClarkWoods.com, this is Horribly Off Topic, episode number 215. I'm Chris.
And I'm Steve.
And I have a zit on the back of my neck. I just felt it just before we started recording.
Do you want me to pop it for you?
I do not want you to pop it for me. That feels a little bit more intimate than I think we should get. What's that?
Let's gross people out right out of the gate. Like, there's like a thing, I don't know if it's on YouTube, because it's probably too fucking gross.
No, it's probably on Pornhub.
What people like?
I don't know.
Squeezing,
yeah,
like boils and shit.
I would imagine. That is. I mean, it's probably in a deep dark corner of Pornhub, but it is probably.
I don't know if it's. I think it's just on regular or other video sites, like whatever.
Okay.
Whatever isn't YouTube, like, or wouldn't pass like the YouTube like.
So
test.
Answer me this: how long does it take till somebody? I guarantee the answer is it's already happened. But if we are grossing people out,
although the bar is set pretty low when YouTube has Nazis on it constantly.
that bar is pretty low. No, so you've got somebody popping.
But that's not gross. I mean, it's gross in the sense that it's gross to our fucking.
Morals, decency,
moral decency, but it's not gross in the sense that goo is shooting out of something,
I don't know.
Out of a thing that normally goo shouldn't be shooting out of.
I would say that Adolf Hitler being shot out of his mother's vagina is pretty gross.
No,
I mean it's grosser than most babies. I'm just gonna.
I mean, how do you know?
I just know that if I were to go,
how
back
do you not know? How do you? Maybe, just maybe, it was a beautiful birth.
You think so?
And then maybe it was so beautiful that he couldn't live up to the beauty of his birth.
Yes.
And he became the biggest shithead in history.
Yes, and?
Seconded only by our current president.
Seconded? Are you sure it's not a tie? It might be neck and neck.
I don't know. Stalin was pretty shitty too. So.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. What about Napoleon? He was kind of a bastard, right?
I mean, he was. I don't know. I think he had a certain amount of the people behind him. I mean,
okay. Right.
He wasn't good to the other people in Europe, I suppose, but like the French loved him, I suppose.
Yeah,
Well, I don't know if you're if you're French and you're listening to this, and you're like, Napoleon was a shithead too.
Apparently, there's a podcast I listened to where the guy is
French to tell me
the guy is in his late 40s, early 50s. His mom is there. Mom had a lot of kids, and so is up there maybe in the 80s or 90s. And so she was related closely enough to somebody who referred to Napoleon not as Napoleon but as Bonaparte, and that they had very strong feelings in that family about Bonaparte. So I gather.
Well, I mean, Bonaparte was
not all the French.
The French.
All the French. I don't think all the French liked good old Napoleon. But to get back to grossing people out, because I think it's important that we do this. I think it's a public service that we offer here on the Horribly Off Topic program. How long?
Brought to you by MeUndies. No,
brought to you by Unicorn Spit donut flavored lubricant.
No, I am like legit wearing MeUndies right now.
Are you? Are they comfy?
Yeah, they're the micro modal feels so good. It has like a little like pouch for your
junk,
dick and balls.
Okay.
So they're like boxer briefs.
Oh, boxer briefs, and they got a little bit extra
junk pouch.
Little junk pouch.
Imagine the regular briefs. Junk pouch.
Little junk pouch. You imagine the little briefs. What?
I imagine the briefs have the same pouch.
Oh, okay.
But I don't like wearing briefs.
I've always been a briefs guy until, except for at bedtime, until a couple of weeks ago. I went to work in my briefs and my normal
just
clothes.
Your briefs.
Just my briefs. No, I was dressed work clothes, and I was wearing briefs, and it poured that day, and the whole front of my body drenched, including the undergarment, and I chafed so badly that day that just out of necessity the next day I wore boxers all day long, and it just became a thing.
All day long.
All day long. And so now I'm just wearing the boxers. I would like to go to investigate boxer briefs, because occasionally there are times when I'm feeling like I could use a little bit more support down there, a little bit more of a little junk pouch for my...
Yeah, but not
stuff,
all of the boxer briefs have the junk pouch.
Well, maybe I just got to go to our new sponsor, MeUndies.
We don't have a sponsor in MeUndies.
But
I'd love for them to pay us money
to
talk about MeUndies, because I actually like them. They're good on my my junk and tank.
And yeah, no, there's a course in this. I started a educational program, Steve. It's a service. I'm learning about branding right now. Taking a branding course, but amongst all of the other things offered in this particular this learning institution is a course on selling ads for podcasts.
Oh wow!
Even when you're a tiny podcast, so that is on my list of things to look at. So maybe we can find a way to get us some MeUndies.
Is it all? Don't say it like that. Is it also
what
on?
Did I say?
Is it also on your list of the best things in life?
The best things in life are free. So this is not. I'm paying for this.
I was referencing Hall Oates, but that's fine. Oh. Don't pick up on it.
I do not pick up on Hall or Oates.
What?
Too many mustaches. Well, no. Wait.
They only had one mustache.
That's still one mustache too many.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
One mustache too many. No, so
well, it's November, so people are saying it's Movember. Have you seen a lot of students with mustaches? And whatnot?
I have not. No,
they don't do that in college.
No, my students don't care about men's health.
Is that why you do Movember?
That's what Movember is about. Yeah,
about balls.
It's about ball cancer. Is what it started out being.
Ball cancer and taint cancer.
Yep, all about the dude cancers.
Prostate, maybe.
To be fair, what qualifies as most in terms of like mathematical? Like, how do you go from saying some to most?
So I think more than half would be.
Most of my students are female.
Oh, okay. And so none of them have facial hair.
Okay, I'm getting myself in
trouble. Gender normative, Chris.
Most of my students are not facial hair wearers.
Okay, but if they there might be some that wouldn't mind if they were,
There are a few who I guess I don't know. There was one guy who walked in today. And he had a full-on beard. And he's had a full-on beard all semester, so I don't think he was going to shave it off just to grow a stash in November.
I contemplated it, but I think Becky would have been fucking grossed out. Yeah, she would have been more grossed out by me not having facial hair than like someone squeezing some fucking boil on someone's back.
Speaking of, so here's what we have not finished our duty. I want to talk about that, about duties.
I'm not going to do it, Chris. You're not going to bait me.
No, it's about in a movie that we both saw this week.
Oh,
there is a character who likes to joke about duties, and they use it as a pun. It's a thing between two friends in a film we both saw. But no, I want to get back to our duty here, DUTY. We need to finish grossing people out, and here's what I was going to ask you before we got horribly off topic.
What were you going to ask me, Chris?
Do you think there's a video out there that somebody has spliced together of a person popping their boil, and then it cuts to a close-up from an adult film of the money shot?
I think people are probably more likely to have shot something out of their boil and then spliced it with Susan Boyle.
You think so? I mean,
I'm trying to stay as relevant as what the kids are talking about, and people won't shut up about Susan Boyle.
Aquafina asks a very important question in her song.
The End of Water?
No. Aquafina, she's a female, Asian female rapper.
She's named after a fucking brand of... I probably yelled about this before, but I'm going to do it again. She's named after the fucking... Like, it's like me calling myself Coca-Cola. I'm the new artist, Pepsi.
Are you done?
No.
Aquafina asks a very important question.
Hey, it's me, Dasani, your favorite artist. I'm going to fucking talk about, and here's my backup Sierra Mist singers.
She asks a very important question.
Hey, it's me, Dr. Pepper. I'm not only a doctor of medicine, I'm also a doctor of rock.
Yeah, no, Dr. Pepper would be an MC. That's how you get to be Dr. Pepper, right? If you were in the music game, you'd have to be the MC. It'd be DJ. No, Dr. Pepper and Snoop Doggy Dogg. Snoopy Dogg. Dr. Pepper. No, she asked a very important question, Aquafina.
It's me, old Mountain Dew. I'm the country singer named after the beverage that's named after moonshine. It's very meta.
Her question.
What was it, Chris?
Her question is, does Susan Boyle have feet?
Yes.
I mean, it's in her song. It's in the song called "Inner Voices," which is a.
Why do you know this artist?
I know this artist because she was recommended me.
You're missing words here and there.
No, I think kids today they drop some of those words. It's like I stopped reading because Beyonce, not because of Beyonce, but just because Beyonce. So it was recommended me.
It was Wreck-It Ralph'd you.
Apple Music, I think, at one point recommended to me a song by the artist Aquafina, and it was the song "Inner Voices," and I liked it, and I clicked the little heart, and I clicked the little plus button to add it to my library.
So now you bought all of her records.
No, I pay my Apple Music fee, and I get to listen to all of her records as long as I keep paying.
I'm sure
Apple
she gets
Music.
a ton of money every time you listen to one of her songs.
She gets more money than if I were a free subscriber on Spotify. So.
Okay, Chris.
And then I've liked a couple of her other songs since then. So, yeah, it does. So you say Susan Boyle does have feet?
Yeah. Like I'm gonna be 95% sure that Susan Boyle has feet.
What if they splice together the person popping the boil? They're about to pop the boil.
On to Susan Boyle,
no, hold on.
But then they switch it to a dick jizzing.
No. We got to keep this friendly for YouTube. They're about to pop the boil. We cut to Susan Boyle's face in the midst of singing a very powerful moment of a song. Right. We
and
cut
Simon
back
Cowell's like, oh my God, this bitch.
We cut back to the boil. Right. One more shot of Susan Boyle singing passionately, or maybe she's finished singing and she's kind of worked up a lather because it was such a passionate song. We cut back to the boil explodes, and then we cut to a woman who looks like Susan Boyle, and the money shot.
But it's boil juice and not jizz.
Well, the implication is that it's boil juice, but if we were to go back to the original source material, it would be semen. Yes.
Okay.
And this is so. I wonder, Steve. I wonder who wrote the Book of Love?
It was Susan Boyle.
No, I wonder if you did something like that, could you get it?
It was artist R.C. Cola wrote the Book of Love, Chris.
Could you get it onto YouTube? And how long would it take before YouTube took it down?
I don't know. How long was Alex Jones up there?
Too soon, Steve. Too soon. I don't know what that means. Can we say too soon just for anything now? It feels
even if it wasn't offensive.
It feels like too soon is one of those things that people say now. It's lost all its meaning.
Well, I mean, the whole point of it was that if you make I think Gilbert Gottfried.
Knock knock.
What about it?
Sorry, Gilbert Gottfried.
Gilbert Gottfried, like very shortly after 9/11, made a 9/11 joke.
Was it the one I was about to tell?
I don't know.
Okay, no, go ahead. What was Gilbert Gottfried's joke?
I don't remember, but like he told the Aristocrats joke to save himself.
I just was listening to a podcast this morning that referenced the Aristocrats and how it came back around because of Gilbert Gottfried, and they were talking about that.
Because of that and because Penn and Teller did that documentary on it.
Right. Well, I think the documentary... Did the documentary come first, or did
No. I mean, like Gottfried was part of that.
Yeah.
Like,
okay. So Gottfried did it. It reinvigorated interest in it popularly because he did it on a on a roast, right? Didn't
yeah,
he do it?
It was on a roast, like
a
I think
Comedy
maybe
Central
a week, if not less, than after 9/11.
Yeah.
But like that, I don't agree with the too soon sentiment ever. Like unless it was something that unless it's somebody you personally know,
right.
Like if you know, and there's going to be a chance that you say something that hurts somebody, that you personally know that you don't know about.
Right.
But like if you like stifle yourself from telling a joke, which it's obviously a joke, there's a bunch of Nazis out there that says, "Oh, I was making a joke, don't worry about it."
Yeah.
When they were obviously being fucking serious.
Yeah. Well.
But in reality, if you are telling a joke, like just tell the joke and fucking
move on.
And then if like someone comes up to you afterwards, and this is like something that like a lot of comedians have said that I've heard on the radio and whatnot, and Bill Burr and Jim Norton, and over time, it's like if you talk to them afterwards, if you don't disrupt the show, if you get upset and get mad at somebody that you like or whatever, and you go up to them after the show or whatever, and you talk to them and say, hey, that kind of was shitty because of X, Y, and Z, and they'll probably fucking apologize to you. They'll probably be like, sorry about that, and it wasn't meant to hurt, and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
So like, it's supposed to be in good fun, and I'm sorry it hurt you or whatever. Like, if you are like that, if you like go to the source, and I'm not talking sending a fucking tweet at somebody, I'm saying talking to somebody in person, you're probably very likely to get a good response as opposed to, remember who was it that we were talking about, you asking if they did something sexually a couple weeks ago.
I was going to ask them if they had done something sexually.
I don't remember what the fuck it was. Somebody send an email hot@clarkwas.com because I'm getting old and I forget shit.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to ask. I vaguely recall what you're talking about, but I am older even than you, so
Yes, only by a little bit.
Only by a little. So the reason they were talking about this was like a really, not a sad thing, but it was like a really weird coincidence. What kind of sad? They were talking about
who's they? I missed
the podcast. Sorry, the podcast that I was listening to this morning that brought up the Aristocrats.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, there was like a whole thread going in my head that did not come out.
We are more than horribly off topic today. We are fucking off the rails.
We are not off the rails. This is good. This is a good one. This is going to go down in history.
Go down.
Susan Boyle. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it is.
Aquafina.
Yep.
Tell me one more joke. One more.
No, I'll wait. I'm waiting for later.
So they were talking about a recent clip of a magician, an illusionist that they saw, and that people were, I think as I recall the conversation, people were reacting to this. There were reaction videos, including maybe from Penn and Teller or other famous magicians, and there was an admiration. And they got into a conversation about magicians and comedians who, even if they know what is going to happen, there's a certain admiration for the process, right? So magicians will be like, I know how he did that. I know how he did that, but damn, that was pretty awesome how he did that. And that segged into how the Aristocrats was. That's how the Aristocrats sort of became legendary, because it was a way for comedians to not only one up each other, but to impress each other. It's like, well, what the beginning and the end are.
Yeah.
And the middle is this opportunity to just do whatever you can and make the other comedian, well, make everybody laugh, but make the other comedians in the room laugh.
So now I've got a challenge for you, Chris.
I got to tell the Aristocrats?
No. I'm telling. I'm gonna figure out a story.
Okay.
I'm gonna figure out the beginning, and I'm gonna figure out the end.
And I have to write the middle.
You have to, like, for your next novel, if you're not gonna do another silver-related novel.
Well,
I'm gonna say, Chris, write the middle.
Okay, I like this.
Or we could just take emails from
audience
the audience.
Yeah.
It won't even have to be me. hot@clarkwoods.com.
But see, if
send like something, it has to be fucking like good. Like deemed by both of us good.
Well, so maybe but see, if it were you, then we'd be able to market it. See what I'm doing there? We'd be able to market it as a product of the show.
Oh, okay.
It'd be a thing that everybody would want to buy because it was.
You could say it was written by both of us, even though I wrote the first and last page.
Yeah. The weird, sad part of that anecdote is that the person they brought up in the context of this was, in terms of magic, was Ricky Jay. So they're talking. I was like sitting there.
The guy who just died.
The guy who just died. So like they didn't know this was recorded last Wednesday and released last Friday. I'm listening to it on the way into work this morning, hearing about Ricky Jay and going, I really got to look up some more Ricky Jay stuff.
I never knew he was a magician. I only saw him in like film.
Yeah, no, I didn't until one of the co-hosts
or TV
of
as well, I think.
Yeah, one of the co-hosts of this particular show talks about Ricky Jay a lot. Is obviously a big fan. And so it's a few years ago when he started talking about Ricky Jay that I became aware of him as a magician. So it was sad. I don't know how old he was, but it was very weird to have. Like I listened, parked my car, walked in, I had to do a couple of things at the office, and then I opened my newsreader or whatever, and there it was. It's like, holy shit, that's.
Hey, I mean, there's no coincidence. There's no story.
Yes, and.
All right, I'm gonna get through the rest of this list.
Are you gonna? We're gonna get through the rest of Ireland?
No, this is the rest of the list that Becky wrote me, which is not through the rest of Ireland.
Okay.
So after our fun day in Dingle, don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
We headed out, and at this point, it was sort of the weather had just started to turn into bullshit.
Okay. Like Irish bullshit?
Well, I mean, it sort of, it was
it was green.
It wasn't really that rainy until this point of the trip.
Okay.
When we wanted to go to the Cliffs of Moher, which we couldn't do because Storm Column, which we kept on seeing on the news, was coming through.
Yeah.
And I mean, Wales isn't Ireland, obviously, but it was a storm that brought the most amount of rain to the country of Wales.
Oh, those poor Welshmen.
Ever in the history of recorded meteorology. And that.
Hey, you know, that's unfortunate.
So it was a lot of fucking rain, and they shut the roads down to the cliffs, so we didn't get to go that way.
Right.
And so we kind of remapped our route, and then we decided to go. I think this might have been on there anyways, but so we went to we didn't go to Bunratty Castle, but Becky saw that there was a place called Dirty Nellie's right near Bunratty Castle, so she's like, this will be a fun little dive to go to.
Yeah.
And it wasn't.
Oh no! I mean, it seems like Nellie would be a nice dirty old dame.
Well, we go in there. We had so many problems every time we would go into a restaurant, not knowing whether we should seat ourselves or if we should just if we wait for somebody to seat us. Like every time we walked in, we would stand there, and then usually some sort of wait staff would just stare at us, and we'd be just kind of like, "What do we fucking do?"
Oh God!
And it was just. Like,
and it was more of the same at Dirty Nellie's.
Yeah, I mean,
is it Dirty Nellie's or Naughty Nellie's?
It was Dirty Nellie's.
That's a missed opportunity.
So I got some fucking steak thing.
Steak thing.
It wasn't terrible. It wasn't necessarily good.
Like, what's the thing part? Was the thing? Like,
it wasn't like a real steak. It was some sort of like it was definitely beef.
Okay.
And I don't know.
Was it Irish bullshit?
No, it wasn't Irish bullshit, but it was like it was meat and it was beef, but it wasn't.
It was Irish.
It was sort of kind of like a steak, but not a steak. That's why I said it's some sort of steak thing. Some
sort of steak thing. Okay.
And then Becky ordered a Caesar salad.
Oh boy.
Which I don't know if the Irish, because we had a couple of Caesar salads prior, and I don't know if the Irish are just not familiar with what a Caesar salad should be.
They don't like the fucking Romans. Romans came over and fucked everything up, didn't they?
They fucked up a lot of things, but I think the Irish fought them off.
Okay. All right. But that doesn't mean they like them. You fight him off, you might get a grudging respect, but it's not
but
like
why
the Irish
call
are
it
gonna
a fucking Caesar salad if you're not going to put Caesar dressing on
to
it?
fuck with the Romans.
No, to fuck with fucking Americans
Well,
who come and try to eat your goddamn salad.
Well, the Americans have a lot in common with the Romans. You know, there's a lot of things we took from that government, and I think the Irish just don't like it.
They
Irish,
also live in a fucking republic.
Wait, no, they did. It is a republic.
Yeah.
Okay. They have a president?
Yes, they have a president.
Oh shit, dog.
He just got reelected for his second 7-year term.
Be God, we don't live there.
Well, I mean, it would be neat.
I mean, if he
did,
if
like,
because
then if Obama had done 7 years and then 7 years, he'd still be president.
That would be better.
Mr. Clark.
Why is she Irish?
Because I'm trying to impress the Irish, so they'll serve me a real Caesar salad when I go over there.
Is your Siri normally Irish?
Yes, my Siri is normally Irish.
Okay.
But I don't know what. Yeah. She's still listening.
It's okay, Siri. You don't have to listen anymore.
Hey, Siri, stop.
That's what I reckoned.
That's what she reckoned.
Okay, so they would give us a salad with what would be considered here salad dressing.
Okay.
Like you would put for coleslaw kind of salad dressing. So like mayonnaise.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. They really hate the Romans.
I guess so. So it was just, and the other ones we had weren't that bad. Maybe they didn't put so much dressing on it.
Yeah.
But this place fucking was like blurp. I think they had a big soup ladle of
Caesar,
whatever
Caesar
mayonnaise gunk that they put on there instead of Caesar dressing.
Oh.
And
that doesn't sound good.
She was just so fucking grossed out. So if you go to Dirty Nellie's near Bunratty Castle in County whatever Ireland, don't get the fucking Caesar salad. Get the steak thingy.
Get the steak thingy. Now, how did you order that steak thingy? Was it medium? Was it medium well?
I don't think I had a choice. I think it was just cooked or not cooked.
Cooked or not.
I went for
cooked. Could you have had it raw?
I don't know.
Could you have a raw steak thing?
Well, I don't they have like Mad Cow over there?
Oh.
So I don't imagine I would have wanted a lightly cooked steak.
Yeah, it does seem like they have a temper over there in Ireland. So mad cows. Moshe Kasher?
He's not Irish.
No, but he went there.
Oh, cool.
I think I talked about this every time we...
That's something we have in common.
He has a bit about leprechauns and Jewish people.
Oh, yeah. And then I told you not to say it because it probably wouldn't be appropriate.
No,
or the way your translation of it would probably not be as funny.
Certainly not. Might not be accurate.
Do a Patton Oswalt bit. Let's see.
Does he have a bit up? I don't know if he has a bit about Ireland.
We started watching the new Mystery Science Theater. I'm just going all over the place.
Yeah.
We started watching the new MST3K, The Gauntlet.
Yeah.
And the first movie was which Patton Oswalt is in as
right. Yeah, he's one of the
son of TV's Frank.
Okay, got it.
I think he's Max. His name is Max.
Max Frank.
No, well, I don't know. Yeah, I guess Max Frank.
Okay,
the first movie and I think I remember watching bits and pieces of it at your house back in the day was Mac and Me.
Oh, okay. So they're doing more modern movies.
Well, I mean, they just need to find bad movies, and there are bad movies that were made in the 80s. So
there were.
Yeah, and that was one of them. And it was just it was so blatantly a ripoff of E.T.
Yeah.
But then
it was later, right? It was not the same as like a Deep Impact Armageddon.
No. This was like 88, I think.
Okay.
So
right.
like
so like a real
E.T. was like
rip-off.
81, I think.
Yeah, so they had like 7 years to get it right and they still didn't.
No, they just and it was I think this might have been the start of the product placement model of like that Adam Sandler kind of does nowadays.
Yeah.
which was just like the thing that they kept on feeding Mac of Mac and Me, or well, not feeding, but like they kept on giving him Coca-Cola.
Yep.
Not the artist Coca-Cola, the beverage Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
And there was this fucking McDonald's commercial halfway through the fucking, like not literally, but
no,
they had Ronald McDonald in it. He was at this particular restaurant where like there was people breakdancing and rapping and doing flips and shit around at this little kid's birthday party at
which
McDonald's.
was at a McDonald's. Okay. Was it the canonical McDonald?
I
just wanted to say that.
He looked like the one that was in the ads.
That was in the ads back in the 80s?
I mean, like, obviously McDonald's didn't, like, they put money into this fucking film.
Wow. That's impressive.
But it was just, like...
Was Grimace in it?
I don't think so, no.
Yeah, no. He was training up to be Thanos in Infinity War.
The movie is just ridiculous, and they did a good job with that particular one. The one after that was Atlantic Rim, which was one of those rip-off. I think the theme was that it was just movies that were ripping off other movies.
Oh, okay, got it.
And this one was like, I think, made immediately after Pacific Rim. Like they probably heard that Pacific Rim was in production, and they were like, "We need to do this." It was like, I think it's the same production company that makes shit like Sharknado and like Giant Snake versus Sharktopus or whatever. But yeah, like it's been pretty good. But there's the aliens in fucking and there's a clip like that Paul Rudd uses, like when he goes to different to promote whatever he's doing.
Right.
He uses a clip of Mac and Me, which isn't him. Of the kid, like it's pretty early on in the movie, where the kid falls off, like he's in a wheelchair, and he falls off a fucking cliff in his wheelchair.
Oh, good old
and
Paul Rudd.
It is fucking. So he's like, "Oh, can you roll the clip?" And it's the clip of that kid falling off the cliff in his wheelchair.
I love Paul Rudd. I am looking forward to him in the next Avengers film. There's good reason to believe he will be in there. There's some on-set photos and yeah, but
and considering like he was trapped in
in the quantum realm,
the butt dimension or whatever.
Yep, trapped right up in there in the butt.
So do you think he's gonna like? What the fuck is Captain Marvel? Like Captain Marvel's supposed to take place in the 90s.
Captain Marvel
right?
is set in like 95, 94.
Oh, around the time Hackers comes out. I hope she goes to see it.
Oh, you think so? That'd be good. No, so Captain Marvel's set in the mid-90s. And apparently there was
Our story takes place in the early 90s, around
They gotta get him in there too. Has he been? No, I don't think he's been in any.
Sam Elliott.
He was in the Hulk, not the Incredible Hulk. The Hulk, which was not part of the MCU. I think Sam Donaldson was. It's
not Sam Donaldson. Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott. Sorry, Sam Elliott was in that one where the really bad CG looking Hulk goes to San Francisco. I think. Anyway, yeah. So they need Sam Elliott to do that opening. That would be great. I hear it's. I mean, I don't know that it's like a straight up comedy, but I think it's supposed to have some comedic elements to it. And I don't know. Yeah. No. So she's.
They call Los Angeles the city of angels. I didn't find it to be that.
There's a preview or prelude comic that came out about what Nick Fury has been up to over these past however many movies that he hasn't been in, and apparently he's been holding off on calling Captain Marvel this whole time is the notion. So it's like he's only supposed to call Captain Marvel if something really bad happens, and then he's about to turn to dust. So he, spoilers for the end of Infinity War, and that's when he hits the pager.
Which is the superhero that can split into different parts?
You mean like different copies of himself?
No. Like he can be chopped up or something like that.
Oh.
Buggy the Clown.
I don't know.
No.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with this superhero. Maybe he's the protagonist of our novel.
Oh, okay. Buggy the Clown?
No, this other guy who's not at all E.T. He not at all Bucky the Clown. He's
Bucky.
Bucky.
Buggy,
not at all Buggy the Clown. No, he's Bucky the Clown. Bucky the magician. Let's make him a magician instead of a clown. Did you start watching that series in Ireland by any chance?
What?
I'm trying to get us back to Ireland.
Oh,
so
yes,
we can
Ireland.
finish talking about
we
Ireland.
did watch, and this is like, we did watch a bunch of Tipping Point, which I talked about last week.
Yes, you did talk about Tipping Point.
And then we watched like this Midsummer Murders
Oh,
show.
I thought you were going to say Midsummer Night's Dream.
Which is like, they have it on, we found it on Netflix, and there's like
Oh.
a fuck ton of them.
Oh, really?
But like this particular town, like if this is the same town, like how is it like if the amount of murders that happened in that episode happened in that town on however many like series they've done there,
Right.
Like there'd be nobody left in this fucking little villa.
Maybe people keep moving there because the housing rates are great.
Yeah, because people keep on getting
People
murdered.
keep dying. They're like, you know what? We can't afford a house in Detroit or anywhere else. We're gonna
go to Great Britain.
We're gonna go to Great Britain. Maybe that's how Detroit gets itself back. They can do the American version of this. And it's just like, yep, a whole bunch of people get murdered every episode, but then a whole bunch of people move in because, you know what? We can afford it in Detroit. I don't know. It's the murder capital of the world, right? Or it's definitely of the United States.
Is it?
It used to be. I think that was his claim to fame.
Well, it used to, before that was probably
the Motor
like
City.
The Motor City, yeah. Like,
yeah.
Before companies like GM, they just did.
Too soon, Steve.
Oh my God, too soon. You made a joke. No one in Ohio or fucking like other parts of the country listens to this show.
No, they
or nobody that works at a fucking automobile manufacturer listens to this show.
If they did, they'd be really offended at the joke I'm about to tell.
What is it, Chris?
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
9/11.
9/11 who?
Steve, you told me you'd never forget.
That wasn't the joke that Gilbert Gottfried told.
That wasn't? Okay, go.
He told a much better joke.
That one, my friend Brian first told to me in like 2011 or 12. And even then I was like, oh. Or no, 2011.
That's scandalous, Chris.
It's scandalous. I hadn't heard people make funnies about the 9/11 yet. The right Pete.
So yeah, we did some sightseeing in some areas that were less, storm ridden.
Right.
So we went a different
Less
route.
Welsh.
We went to we definitely did not go near Wales
Well, you brought up
because we stayed in Ireland.
Right.
But I'm just talking about this particular storm.
Could you see Wales from across the?
No.
It's not that close, right?
We didn't spend that much time on the east coast of Ireland.
Okay. Right.
So we went to the Burren, which is it's a bar in Massachusetts.
I have heard of this bar. I've maybe
I
even
think it's
been in
I
it.
think that's the one in Davis Square.
Sounds right.
Okay, so yeah, we didn't go there. We didn't go to Davis Square. We went to the actual Burren.
The actual bar. You sure it's not the same bar, but in multiple places?
It's not a bar in Ireland. It's a place,
Oh,
like
it's a place.
outdoors place,
Okay.
which is a lot of like just sort of rocky areas and like weird vegetation because of the way like the earth is in that general area.
Oh, okay.
And it's very barren. And I think that's similar to Burren. I don't know. Fucking maybe Brick Steve has
the
something to say
Mar.
on here, but I don't want to look it up.
Yeah.
We went to the Portal Tomb, which was I got a couple pictures of, and it's just
Is that where they bury video games?
yes,
The game Portal.
E.T. game and the Mac and Me game, which was really good actually.
Was the Mac and Me game good?
There was no Mac and Me game. I'm surprised they did. That would have been great if they made a Mac and Me game and it was fucking awesome.
Yes. Oh, and you had to beat up Ronald McDonald in it.
There's a McDonald's game, McKids,
jeez.
that is apparently not that bad.
Oh, really?
In comparison to E.T.
Do you play Ronald McDonald?
No, you play as a kid
Oh, okay.
and you collect M's or something like that.
Okay. It'd be better if you played as Ronald McDonald. Assemble a whole team of the McDonald's gang.
Well, one of the kids in the movie in Mac and Me was wearing a McKids shirt, so maybe that could be the tie-in to Mac and Me. That the video game associated with Mac and Me was actually decent in comparison to E.T. for the Atari 2600.
It's a stretch, but I think we
just
could
like
all,
a stretch of E.T.'s neck every time you fell in a fucking hole.
was gonna say we could all use a stretch, Steve. We could all stand to be in a little bit better health, you know. So let's take this stretch every once in a while.
So yeah, the burn was you know, it was interesting in that the portal tombs and like sort of were like Stonehenge kind of things where like it was a portal into the fairy realm kind of thing.
Oh, did you see any fairies?
We did not see any.
No
fairies.
Tinkerbell?
No, but the fairies in the Irish sense aren't necessarily like the winged creatures that we consider fairies to be. Like fairies are similar to human beings, only they're
the fae folk.
They're sort of magical and they live in a different realm.
Like elves.
Kind of, but not.
Got it.
So we went, when we were in Dublin, went to the Leprechaun Museum, which was a larger idea than just leprechauns. It was talking about fairies in general.
Oh, okay.
And also when we were in Dublin, we did we went to a dinner that had it was at one of the oldest pubs in Ireland, which I can't remember the fucking name of, in Dublin actually.
Yeah.
And it was called fairies food fairies and folklore, I think. Was the and we thought it was we worried it was going to be like tourist trappy.
Yeah.
And it was majority tourists that went to this. I mean, you don't get fucking Dublin locals to go to the fucking food and fairies and folklore dinner. But it was good. Like the man that was telling us the stories did it well, and then they came we made the mistake of saying we were newlyweds, and so they kept on they set us very close to where he was telling his stories, and he would point at us and be like, "Oh, newlyweds," and
did he
and then like there
was
what?
Did he work you into the story?
No. But there was a couple of musicians that worked us in talking about marriage and whatnot. And, they came in, played a couple songs. They kept on flirting with this old lady, and I mean old lady,
like 90s, hundreds, or like 80s.
I think maybe 80s. But she was pretty old, and I think he was just
hey,
having a time.
Make an old lady feel good. Flirt with her every once in a while.
Yeah, and so that was a fun evening. Rewind back to the fairy realm and portal tombs and whatnot. And so we were gonna go to this dungeon dinner at a castle, but because of the same bullshit storm.
Oh, Callum, right?
Yeah.
Fucking Callum.
It fucking closed that restaurant, so we couldn't go there for.
I bet you Callum was from Rome.
Maybe. No, it was coming from the Atlantic Ocean.
But I'm just saying, I bet you Callum was a Roman. That's where that name came from. He was fucking with the Irish again. They gave you bad Caesar salads. It's just a fucking war that just never ends between the Romans and the Irish.
So we eventually got to the lodge at Ashford Castle.
Okay.
So there's Ashford Castle, which we could have stayed in, but I think it was a little bit more expensive. And there was the lodge area, which was also very, very fucking nice. And this was like me freaking out, kind of
they're that nice.
I was like, I don't know what to fucking do with this kind of place. I'm like, we had been staying in Airbnbs.
Ooh, Pat Oswald bit. Did you jerk off in every room?
No. I feel weird. Like I am. So like, I mean, we don't do poorly. We're not broke folk.
Right. No. But still, you come from modest background, right?
Very. So, I mean, I grew up in an apartment. So when fancy things are when I'm exposed to fancy things, I feel uncomfortable because I feel like it's like I think that's probably why I like dive bars so much, because I like, although I despise like having conversations with blue collar folks because they tend to be Trump supporters.
Right.
But for some fucking reason, but I like that's where I feel comfortable. I feel comfortable in a dive bar, but then I get annoyed at a dive bar because of the things that people are saying in a dive bar.
Right.
But you put me in a fancy establishment and then I'm like, I don't know.
You don't know what to do.
So yourself. I need to find that's why I think when I go to a dive bar in Cambridge, I'm like, all right, this is good.
That's just like the slightly rougher liberal crowd.
Yeah, they're like they're
That's like your uncle who still uses gay slurs and might use the wrong term for a black person, but he's totally like for equal rights and whatever.
Yeah, I mean that was a Patton Oswalt bit. Like there was like him saying.
I wasn't gonna say it.
But I'm gonna paraphrase it and not try to tell the joke.
Yeah.
That there's people out there that are very shitty but use the right language.
Right. And then people out there who are wicked awesome, but they
sometimes say shitty things.
Yeah.
So if you this brings me back to the like just piling on the internet. If someone says something that could very well be a joke, like James Gunn or something.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe we don't fucking...
Too soon, Steve. Too soon.
No, but like that was the fucking shitheads using the same tactic against,
Absolutely. They've proved that it worked once, so they're going to keep doing it until somebody
says enough. Yeah.
And who knows if they ever will. Because multi-billion-dollar companies are afraid of pissing anybody off. Yeah.
But they just pissed off a lot of their audience.
Yeah. Luckily, somehow that doesn't filter all the way down, though. So I was going to ask you a question.
You're going to ask me a question.
I was going to ask you a question. No, I was listening to a podcast on the way over here that I just recently heard about, and they're like almost halfway done because it's a limited series, and here's why. Every episode they talk about 10 minutes of Thor Ragnarok. They love the movie so much that they spend they're going to do like 13 episodes, and every however many they're going to do, they're going to talk about 10 minutes of Ragnarok each episode.
Just like a scene or something like that, or are they going to just talk about it generally?
They talk. I mean, so I listened to the first episode.
This seems really impractical.
They talk about, they discovered that actually at every 10 minutes, it kind of is, in that film at least, a good breaking point. I forget now why.
Buckside Tenkets?
I don't know why I brought this up. What were you talking about just before then? There was a connective tissue in my brain and it just snapped.
We're talking about James Gunn.
James Gunn. Oh, yeah. So like Disney could be a bunch of fucking morons at the top. But somehow they're still making decisions to allow people like Taika Waititi, who has like no blockbuster experience, to make a Thor film, right? And to make an awesome Thor film. I mean, and not just the best of the Thor films, but maybe like top 5 of all of their films. So it's just weird in that way that like at the top they can be such fucking dipshits, but like, down in the middle they're still allowing them to.
I mean, I said this the last time we talked about this. Is like, how do you not fucking know that James Gunn, a guy who used to work for fucking Troma,
right,
like, isn't going to be subversive in his fuking.
You hired him because like whoever made.
You ever seen fucking Slither? Jesus Christ!
Yeah. Yeah,
but yeah, so we went to the lodge at Ashford Castle, and it was
fancy.
sort of like the weather was complete bullshit for the majority of the time we were there. So we spent a lot of time there, which was fine.
In the lodge.
And I had realized I hadn't brought my nail clippers.
Oh no!
So I went and got my nails done.
Okay, hold on. You got your nails did.
Yes, I had never gotten my nails done. I mean, I didn't get polish or anything on it.
Okay.
She just filed them down.
I just got to be in the description. Steve gets his nails did in Ireland. Okay. So you didn't get them. No polish. You said
no polish. I did.
Polish.
I just wanted them shorter,
trimmed.
Yeah.
What the heck did they do?
Because she didn't have she had nail clippers, but she had like the teeny ones that are for like the little bits. That if you're trying to. I don't know, I don't know fucking nails.
Yeah, I don't fucking. I mean, I need to cut my nails. I know that.
So it was interesting because they're definitely more rounded and smooth than what I do on a normal basis.
Yeah, yeah.
Whenever I would see somebody with a nail file, I was assuming they were filing the tops of the nail.
Oh yeah, okay.
And I'm like, oh okay, no, they file this.
Yeah,
Like
that's what I do.
You
I
file your nails with the nail file?
not a lot, but if I get a jagged, like a really jagged edge, I'm not trying to make them, half circles or anything here, but like if I got a really jagged edge because I'm really shitty with fingernail clippers, I'll get in there with the file just to even it out because I have shitty skin and any edge becomes a way of me scratching my scalp off.
Yeah, I mean, then you don't want to be considered an edgelord. I don't know.
No, I don't. I mean, I an edge maiden, perhaps.
It's me, Five Alive, the musical artist. That was a deep cut. Fresca.
Mellow Yellow. See, now Dr. Pepper and Mellow Yellow, I feel like they would be a good group. Like that's your DJ Jeff and Fresh Prince. Like Dr. Pepper and Mellow Yellow. Yeah?
Quite rightly.
Dr. Pepper and Mellow Yellow. I'm gonna make a case for this. Dr. Pepper.
Well, you might as well get a case of Dr. Pepper and enjoy that shit.
I don't like Dr. Pepper.
What?
It's gross. Like I don't.
That was like when I stopped drinking soda. That was the one soda that I was just like, I want a fucking Dr. Pepper, and I got one like one day.
Is that like like the Dr. Pepper Sunkissed company? This is the thing that I could never quite figure out because I'm an orange soda person, right? And this has been the constant bane of my existence, frustration for.
Oh, it's me, Bane. I love your existence.
You were born into it.
Oh yeah, I should just put this over my mouth.
You liked orange soda, but I was born into it. I don't know. No, so the Coca-Cola company has Coca-Cola is their cola,
their
product.
flagship cola until New Coke came out.
They got Sprite for their lemon lime, and then they have had a revolving door of until recently.
They tried to trick us once by telling us that there was Juki.
What?
That was like the straw that made me angry at the Coca-Cola Corporation. First one was discontinuing OK Soda.
Okay.
The second was there was an ad for Sprite in the mid to late 90s, which started off as an ad for Juki. It was a party in a can, and I'm like, I want that beverage. And then they're like, obey your thirst and drink a Sprite instead. And I'm like, I want that fucking one. I don't want your goddamn lemon lime soda.
Oh shit! I'm sorry. Well, sorry to bring up. I want to get through the end of this.
I was a 7-Up kid after that.
Okay, well, this is my thing. I'm going to get us back to Dr.
Because
Pepper.
there wasn't Sierra Mist at the time.
Right. So here's this, so they were constant. They always had Coke. They always had Sprite. But if you'd go to a restaurant or something, and they sold Coke products, you would sometimes get Sunkissed, which is my thing of choice, or sometimes you might get Crush, which I think is an A&W product. Anyway, so
I've got my mind.
At some point they bought or created Fanta, and now Coke. If you go to a place that has Coke,
they made Fanta back in World War II. That was Nazi cola.
Or so they bought. I don't know what the fuck they did, but now if you go to a place that sells Coke products and you want an orange soda, you are generally getting a Fanta. Now over on the Pepsi side, you had Pepsi, and then for a long time they had Slice and Orange Slice. Like Slice was their lemon lime, and Orange Slice was their orange, and that was okay. And then I forget what they fucking did with their orange. Eventually, maybe they just fucking got rid of it, and they had their came in with the Sierra Mist. Okay, but over on the Dr. Pepper side, this is where I couldn't figure things out, because Dr. Pepper had Dr. Pepper, and they had 7-Up, and they had Sunkissed, because Sunkissed is
but there were no restaurants that had those three.
No, so that's why sometimes.
But then when Coke bought Dr. Pepper, it ended up in.
Do they own Dr. Pepper?
I think so now.
I think they bottle stuff for some Dr. Peppers. I don't know if they own.
I
Dr.
think
Pepper.
like if you go to like a Burger King or whatever,
Yeah.
you will find that there's Coke products and Dr. Pepper in there.
Well, I think that there's an unholy marriage going on there or something.
But
Steve.
like Pepsi owns Taco Bell and KFC and Pizza Hut.
Yum Brands.
Yeah, all those. What? I'm at the Pizza Hut.
No, but
I'm at the Taco Bell. I'm at the combination Pizza Hut and Taco Bell.
So my question is Dr. Pepper supposed to be the Dr. Pepper Corporation's cola? Like, is Dr. Pepper a cola or is it a whole separate thing?
It is a mixture of spices that. Well, I think cola is what like Coke and Pepsi are.
Right. But when Dr. Pepper
because it has cola syrup in it, doesn't it?
Well, it originally did,
but now it doesn't. Now it just tastes like it.
It's natural and artificial flavors. No, but so like what I'm saying is there used to be more beverage companies, and it's interesting to me that Dr. Pepper doesn't seem to have a cola, but they do have the other big things, which is you've got your 7-Up and your they also have A&W. So A&W is part of that brand now. So like they got everything but a cola. They got a root beer, they got an orange, they got a lemon lime, and they got Dr. Pepper.
Maybe they should just buy RC Cola and then. I do think that Dr. Pepper is owned by Coke. I think you're right. Nah, I don't know. What about Moxie?
I was in Maine twice over the last 4 days, Steve. Twice.
Oh yeah, it was Thanksgiving. Happy post Thanksgiving.
Happy Indigenous Peoples Day.
No, I thought that's Columbus,
that's Columbus Day. This is like another Indigenous Peoples Day, right?
Well, I mean,
I don't know. Happy Thanksgiving.
It's. I think it's less offensive than Columbus Day.
It is less. I mean, the idea of it, at least. Is,
yeah, I mean,
is less offensive.
In concept, it's nice. It's not great.
It's not celebrating a douchebag.
Yeah,
destroyed a continent.
We're trying to celebrate like getting together with friends and family.
Doctor.
And we pretend in the stories that we were friends with the Native Americans when we first got here. And they showed us how to grow corn, and we showed them how to have smallpox.
Dr. Pepper is run by Keurig Dr. Pepper from 2008 through present. Pepsi manufactures Dr. Pepper in Canada and Oceania, and Coca-Cola.
Oceania, is that in the ocean?
That's.
Was there like cans of Dr. Pepper that were getting stormed in when Column hit Ireland?
No, those were being eaten by whales.
Oh, okay.
No, so and Coca-Cola does it in Europe.
Okay,
so Dr. Pepper is like it's all kinds of split up there.
Wouldn't you like to be a pepper too?
Wait a minute. Pibb. What is Pibb?
Mr. Pibb.
Mr. Pibb is what?
He's Dr. Pepper without the fucking degree.
I don't know if I can fit that anywhere.
You can't put fucking in the title either.
No, it just Mr. Pibb is Dr. Pepper without the degree. I mean, that might be like the closing sentence of the description. I don't know. So, yeah, no. So it's I don't. Yeah, I don't know.
Steve rails about sodas that he doesn't drink anymore.
Yeah. Forrest Gump liked the Dr. Pepper.
He did?
Yeah. Remember, he has a whole bunch of them before he meets John F. Kennedy, and then John F. Kennedy says, "How do you feel?" And
he says, "I gotta pee."
I gotta pee. I believe he said, "I gotta pee." I can't do the JFK. How would you do JFK?
You gotta just do Mayor Quimby from
right
from fucking The Simpsons.
I think he said he had to go pee. That's not good.
He does these impressions. Are we almost done?
We are almost done. Are you almost done with Ireland?
I'm done at that point. But so I got the manicure,
you got the manicure,
but
no pedicure.
I wouldn't mind at some point, like getting a legit. But I still wouldn't want polish.
That wouldn't be too fancy for you. I feel like we were just talking about.
No, if I go to a fucking nail salon, it's not going to be fancy for me.
Okay,
but like,
all right.
It was an interesting experience, and I think every man should do it because I was listening to something today, and it was just like an ad for something, and it's like people. just saying you need to man up and like do things more manly. And you're like,
it's the way of the future, Steve. Got to man up.
And I'm like, no, I don't want to.
Not enough masculinity left in our country.
There's just enough, if not too much.
There's too much.
And
most of it's toxic.
Yeah, I'm toxic.
I'm sipping under.
I'm sipping soda.
All right, sorry. Continue on your.
But yeah, I mean, like, go out there and get your fucking nails done.
All right,
fellas. You're still gonna be a man. Like, and I think the problem is that just if you being called something you're not, or you feel is I don't know. I fucking lost my thought.
I was about to. You were on a roll. See, I think what happened is that I did not do. What song is it that they start humming in the background while Bluto is giving his speech in Animal House? They're like, it's like some like
I think
power.
It's Glory Hallelujah. Maybe?
Okay, so that's
the tough get going, which was a very like that's a movie that doesn't hold up.
That is the very definition of problematic.
I mean, that Revenge of the Nerds, like there's so
God.
many of them from that era,
all
like late
the
70s,
movies.
early 80s. Porky's, just it did. I think actually Porky's
is probably just gross and pointless and stupid. I don't think there's that.
Actually, no, he does put his dick through the thing in the shower.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah. And they were peeping on the girls in the shower.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. So that. But they were just being boys, Steve.
Yeah.
Just being boys. Locker room talk.
But yeah, it's just like be okay with not necessarily being as masculine as you can be. I'm just telling you all out there.
I don't want to be any more masculine.
I'm probably preaching to the choir.
You are I am your choir here, Steve.
No, but in general, the people that listen to our show are not the kind of people that would be like, I got to be double down on manliness now that Steve said that. Shut up. You can find the show notes for
this episode at clarkwoods.com/hot/215.
I need more notes from Becky.
You do need more. We gotta get to the next part of Ireland next week, and maybe next week we can talk about the double feature. We both have seen some fucking.
That'll
movies.
give like everybody a chance to see both of them. We'll just say what I saw a double feature. You had seen them separately.
I saw Crimes of Grindelwald last week. Well, whatever week that fucking was, and I saw Ralph Breaks the Internet just the other day. But you saw them together.
Saw them together on Black Friday to avoid doing shopping.
Right.
So I supported a local business. We went to the theater here in Maynard, but I also didn't go to a store and was hating myself. Although we weren't the same. We weren't the only people that had this idea of doing the double feature, and there was a lot of people that were very good at standing right in my fucking way.
Fuck those people. If you were one of those people, I want you to send us an email to hot@clarkwoods.com and explain why you're always in Steve's way, and maybe we won't kill you.
How about this? I'm going to guarantee we won't kill you.
I don't want to guarantee that, but I feel like we're not violent people, so you just got to give a little bit of an explanation. If it's minimum of effort, or we will kill you.
No.